This is lesson 8, subtracting integers. So we're doing what we did yesterday, where we're combining integers. In math, we have to combine numbers using 4 operations: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. You need to know how to do all of them. Yesterday we did adding. Okay, today we're doing subtracting. It's just part of math. That's such a basic concept of math, doing a basic subtraction problem, that you need to know how to do it, and do it precisely every time and perfectly. Because if you're not ready to do it, when we do harder stuff in math, you'll get stuck. For example, today I even had Algebra 2 students who are still not good at what you're doing today, what you're going to do today. So if you're good at what you do today, you're smarter than some Algebra 2 students that don't have the skill as well as they should, okay? And they're going to struggle, so I already noticed. But it's an easy skill to develop. You just got to be intentionally trying, okay? And I want to refer you back to our example of the war, right? Two sides fighting. One person always gets rid of the other person, no matter what. Which team is bigger, and what's the name of the team? Is it the positive team or the negative team? Does that make sense? Following me? Okay. So here are the steps. If you're on the video, same as yesterday, you should pause the video now if you want to write the steps. And here we go. Number 1 and 2. Just watch right now. Okay, the first thing I want to do is identify the numbers. I got 4 minus a negative 7. If in front of the 4 there's a positive sign, in front of the 7 there's a negative sign, but then there's also a minus sign next to it. Whenever you have a minus and a minus together, it's like minus times minus, which becomes 2 of the same signs become negative, or I'm sorry, positive, okay? Okay, so negative and negative together becomes positive when they're next to each other, okay? So we need to rewrite this, and now we talk about the war. There's 4 people on the positive team and 7 people on the positive team. Are they fighting against each other?
No.
No. So what should they do? Should get together and become a bigger team. So these two groups get together, add them, and they're part of the positive team. So it's positive 11 is the answer. You don't have to put the positive sign there, but just put it there anyways. Okay. Again, what did I do? Looked at the problem. I know it was a minus next to each other. So I combined this to become positive. These are both the same team. 4 and 7 is equal to 11. Positive team. Questions on number 1. Number 2, watch up here. We got 2 says negative 8 minus negative 5. So again, we have a negative sign in front of the 8. We know that's a negative team. And then in front of the 5, we also have a negative team, which is negative 5, but there's a negative in front of it. So negative and negative again becomes what, class? Positive. So let's rewrite this. That's kind of like they're spies. They're not really negative, okay? So we got negative 8 plus 5, okay? So now the 2 teams fight. One person always takes out the other. So which team's bigger, the 8 or the 5? 8. So how much bigger are they? By 3. And what's the winning team, the positive or negative team?
Negative.
Negative team. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, let's have you talk about it with your neighbor. 2s we'll talk today first. Number 3. Okay? Number 3, by yourselves. Ready, set, go. I'll give you 30 seconds. Some of you got it wrong. A negative and a negative become a what? When they're together, like next to each other. It's really like saying plus 7, right? So we got 2 teams. We have a negative 4 team and a positive 7 team. Which team's bigger?
7.
The positive team's bigger. How much bigger are they? 3. That's it. Some of you put 2. What, 7 minus 4? 3. Okay. Okay, next one, number 4. Ready? Number 4, we got a negative 7, negative 6. Do we have any signs next to each other that need to be changed? Are they, okay, so they're both part of the negative team? They're the bad guys?
Yeah.
So if they're both the same team, what are they going to do?
Help each other.
They're just going to help each other. Like, let's just become a bigger team. What's 7 plus 6? 13, and then they are the negative team. Does that make sense? Yes. 5. Go. On this example, we have 2 negatives right here by the 4. So this is a positive 8 for sure. It's just kind of assumed that's there. The 2 negatives really becomes a positive, so this is like saying plus 4. So we got positive 8 plus 4. And then we have 2 negatives again here, which becomes a positive 7. And then we have a negative 3. So let's combine these together. These 2 teams get together, 8 and 4. They're like, we're not fighting each other. We're both positive. Let's get together. So they're really like saying positive 12. And then these two teams are like, hey, we're enemies, right? So, which team's bigger? Positive 7, right? How much bigger is the 7 than the 3? 4. And then these two teams are like, cool, we're both positive, let's get together, so it's 16. Positive 16 is the answer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you made like a silly mistake and you're like, oh man. Okay. So just work in little bite-sized pieces, okay? Here we go. Next one, number 6, last one. Go. Boards. Okay, so let's just look at all the signs. This is -7. This is a -7, right? And then these two negatives is really like saying +6. And these two negatives is like saying +5. Ooh, this is intense. So these two negative teams get together, like we're the same team, let's just become a bigger team. So their two negative teams become -14. These two positive teams are like, oh, we better get joined together. So now we have two teams that are opposing. Which team's bigger, the 14 or the 11? 14. How much bigger are they? 3, and they're negative, right? So they win. Make sense? Okay? Most of you got that right. Raise your hand if you made a silly mistake. Okay, good. So just fix it. And that's it. So what I'd like you to do is, that ends the lesson for today.